unbelievable. Vertigo, a map FURIA haven't played in 44 days. They may be out of practice, but let's hope they're warmed up after that 40-plus round of fair. Heroic, CT-sided start. There's no waiting around. We're right into the action, and FURIA, they got to be feeling the pressure. This could and should have been theirs, but will it?
Oh, well, let's see how this pistol round goes. Nico flashed into mid, but it's a little bit ugly for him. It's a little bit nasty in middle. FURIA sat a man up, and Art, he's very, very good at this, man. Art loves a short wrap early on, and if you're Heroic, you've got to be ready to deal with that, and they are not. He takes the head off of the first, following up with a little bit more, and that's what Art is so good at on this map. He creates all this space for the rest of FURIA. Now we look at Borup and Stown, but think about how many...
Oh, okay.
I was going to say how many of these rounds these two have been able to turn around, but not this one by the looks of it. It's Stown on a lone flank up through the ramp, left in the 1v4, and I dare say that any clutch is impossible after what Cadian showed us to round out Nuke, but this one, it certainly fits the bill, doesn't it?
Yeah, check, please. And they're going to give it to him. They're going to hunt him down. Yuri's not waiting. Stown gets a freebie, but yeah, there's no way getting out of this round alive. Vinny's on the chase, and he closes it with the Glock. FURIA, look at all the utility they brought into that round. They didn't even need it. They barely used it. They run away with a full smoke double flash on Henny, who's flying out short, shooting players in the air. FURIA with a pistol locked and loaded. We got a force buy for Heroic, no waiting around, and even an MP5 SD for Art. Okay, I'll never question this man, but it's an interesting purchase. We'll see what he does with it. Spawn smoke coming in from Keserato. It's going to land on A short, blocking off aggro peaks of Heroic. They can't get that info. They do hear feet pittering and pattering below the A ramp. And FURIA move up with it, but this boost is good. That smoke has missed. You'll see it on the roof. Not the end of the world, at least, with no one capitalizing on it, but now Tess has a lot to do and not a lot to do it with. The Deeg in hand. It's a nice nade, but it's thrown right back.
Yeah, but Tesses and Nico both have nades as well. Tesses, Deeg out. There's the demolishing from Yuri as he plays big Jenga over towards that boost. There is still an unknown entity here. At the sandbags, it's Cadian. Keserato feels like it's a little bit fishy, and so he will mop him up. Borup left in the 1v3. Two of these players are low. Two of these players are within this, like, 1D range. But it doesn't matter. Henny's looking primed. Henny's looking good. He's on the angle. He's ready to put that second on the board for FURIA. The force buy doesn't give Heroic the results they were hoping for, so now it is just back down to these pistols, these vanilla pistols at that. And so this is how FURIA should get off to this 3-0 start.
Yeah, oosps. A single flash for Stown, that's all they've got. Gonna pop in together. All set towards B. We got Henny holding for it. Patient play, Vinny here. Henny actually in middle rather. He was looking into the wall, but if you're expecting a bit of a play made for Heroic in a round like this, it's awfully quiet as they walk down B, and the timing has been missed by Vinny, who left with the bomb. Keserato sees nothing either in Heroic. Here, the feet going towards A. Keserato waits around, and he gets that spot. Couple of kills, no more surprises up the sleeve of Heroic. They still have this flash, but no control. Bomb planted. Art fanning out, looking for these kills on the exit. Should be easier done than said for FURIA, fully armed. That flash gone, never left the hands of Stown. And clean as you like it. No death there as well. It's nice money made for FURIA. It's going to go a long way in the future. Heroic coming in with their first gun round. Cadian, no hesitation. AWP is out. Stown will join him. Where does this double AWP go for Heroic? Very often you're going to see spawns being played. Cadian has an A peak spawn. Stown looking like he's going towards B. There's still full AKs and Galils for FURIA.
Oh, there is this early short smoke thrown in. Those nades are brutal as well. This has really lowered how much attention Heroic have been able to put towards ramp, and that seemed to be the idea here. Out through mid, FURIA now trickle. Cadian, tagged up by those nades earlier on, might get caught over here in the elevator room, but he does manage to escape. Look at him go, he's leaping away.
Ooh.
Down with a double in the meantime, and Yuri, no, the accidental jump, that scroll wheel betraying him. That's where Henny will come swinging in to try and pick up the pieces. Now, you might have dealt with one over towards short side. That doesn't mean that both players have been taken care of. These two orbs as well, homed in on middle. And right now, this bomb, by the looks of it, dropped down towards the base of ramp. They're going to have to go all the way back and get that.
Yeah, I don't think they're thinking about the bomb. They need to get out of these spots. Keiserato is trapped right now. He's in a great position, but they know he made it here. Cadian looks as Keiserato turns around, and it feels nice for Cadian to catch a good timing. This time around, it was so unfortunate for him on Nuke in so many positions on that CT side. Yeah, like, weird round for FURIA. I love the mid take. They put pressure on A early, and then they pace it up towards mid, but they also dive through their own CT smoke, and that gives Stown a double kill, shutting down any split into this A site as they try to wrap Cadian. Henny, that bomb, that's a distant memory. Forget about it. He's not getting it back. And nor the round as Heroic. They've even pushed B. They're going to find it. Won't matter. This one's locked and loaded. Henny just looking to get away with the gun. If he can find more kills, that would be nice as he smokes the sandbag to draw them in. Missing Borup below, but it will be the successful save by the looks of things.
It's a nice little bait. Borup's like, lol, I'm going to knife him, but no, you ain't, mate. Henny backstabs him instead. Still, it is the heroic round, and that's the real takeaway there. And I think, you know, when you look at that, you're bang on, Hugo, really. Like, you know, you do so much damage over towards ramp, things are looking good, you get out middle, and then they try to play that mind game a little bit with heroic, right? They're wrapping Cadian, they know he's fallen back to CT, but FURIA get like a taste of their own medicine, right?
Yeah.
We so often say, oh, well, where there's one orb, there's two for FURIA is what it ends up feeling like. And you're always running into them. Well, that's exactly what happens to FURIA there. They were looking for Cadian. They didn't want to find Stown, and they hated it when they found him.
That was like back on Mirage, right? Stown, Cadian, CT Orping together in jungle, just like side by side, trading really, really well. Good cover. Cadian's making these boys believe, and with some of the rounds he's putting up in the server, how could you not if you're heroic? Here for the title, here for victory and nothing less. With a round on the board, Tessa's flashed out. Boost up on Art. Now, guns can often poke through this wood. It can be a problem. Borup sees him, and so Art drops off. The spam is in, but Borup knows. They can reboost on the right side as well. Stown is here for support. They actually go back for the same boost. Art wants to give it another go. Will this time around be more successful? No. Borup with a spray. It's perfectly timed. I do wonder if he saw the gun through it. Feels almost too good to be true. But it's the perfect read. 50 seconds, and FURIA abandon the B-bomb site. This is a desperate round for them. Getting no room and having almost no utility. This is a bait for Nico as well. He's jumping on the ramp. They might not be ready for Tessa's pushed up so close on short.
Yeah, Nico's got their attention, but now they're not ready for him. As you say, that 1-2 punch. Only good for... Oh, okay.
Hello. How's he got here?
FURIA. Oh, so you guys think Art's the guy that goes aggressive with the AWP? Well, Cadian says no. He's giving them a taste of their own medicine all across the board, but now it's Keiserato and Henny, and these two in clutches, man, they can be fierce. The one that connected on Henny. All right, from Stown, up in the air, and then lands it the second time around by Keiserato, as Stown puts up the double. And that second round is on the board for Heroic.
That plan would have been massive as well. Look at the money Henny and Keiserato can buy. Art, Yuri, Vinny, not quite as fortunate. But they still probably will just invest. It's FURIA after all. They love the speed. They love the pistols, the Tech 9s. Maybe not so much after how Nuke closed out, but they're fine. They can get 2 AKs, and that always feels like enough for FURIA. One often does it in the hands of Art. Henny and Art wielding those weapons. Double orb continuing and looking damn good while it does. Nico yet to frag, but it is early days. Left up on that short side again. Supported by Cadian. The short smoke is out for FURIA, but Heroic use it to their advantage. They play behind it, knowing they can pop in at a moment's notice once that does fade. Art moving up short. How much control will Heroic try and enact on ramp? Will it just be them waiting back in these choke points, or will they try and flash in? Will they try and bring the fight to FURIA? They know they're here. With the Molotov, it's going to force NiKo forward. They smoke it. KD is given safety to NiKo. He's letting back up, but NiKo goes forward instead for more. Getting traded. Tessa's not checked. No molly, no nades, no way to deal with this man behind the sandbags. And a 4-on-2 ensues. It should be Heroic, but the trade that makes you question everything. FURIA giving it a go.
And Heroic haven't budged. They've still got 3 over here towards A. Cadian, it all hinges on this fight, and that goes in favor of Henny. Now, they do still have 2 waiting back in the bomb site, and the utility is limited for FURIA. Stown is down low, but he's got this AWP, and he's been so crisp with it to begin this map. Henny over at short side onto the AWP as well, and he does spot the man on the boost. It's AWP v AWP, and with Stown on 5 HP, he's pretty happy with that fight. Yuri's left to hold down this angle while the AWP's peeking long, and Stown absolutely nails Yuri. Henny now creeping in, but Borup's in the elevator. He's making a lot of noise. Stown hits that as well. He's so quick on that boost. And there's that little bit of concrete that allowed Stown that frag. Man, this boost spot from Stown is looking scary. It's looking terrifying.
Yeah, double AWP on A, but not like traditional AWPing. They're not playing out of sport and trying to fight down the bottom ramp. They know the FURIA like to hold it and set up their own AWPs to wait. Instead, Heroic are just anchoring the bomb site with AWPs. Will FURIA go elsewhere? B can be a bit of a trouble to get into at times. And so they lurk out mid, are given a gun. And this is like the FURIA-esque buy that we talk about, right? They should be eco, they should just be playing P250s and stuff, but instead they buy Art and AK and they unleash him in middle to great success, finding a kill. And that's a gun to gift over to an armored player such as Yuri, who is pushed up on the A ramp, finding Tessis through the smoke. Oh dear, 3 guns given and a 5-on-3 in the favor of FURIA. They have control of the opponent's spawn.
Art just made noise jumping up there. Doesn't matter. Still blindsides NiKo. Everywhere you go, Art's doing damage. And Cadian knows he's lucky to be alive. He's not going to get given many more chances like that, so he backs away. It's these double AWPs still remaining for FURIA up against this pretty weak buy. They're just looking to save. They're writing this one off. They're giving FURIA that respect. They're saying, you know what? They've done us in there. And there's no coming back from it. Cadian saving, Stown's back in the B site holding his retreat. But you don't want to lose even one of these AWPs. You know, if you keep them both up, you can buy next round. That's the goal here for Heroic. Stown can drop a gun over, Borup can buy himself, and Cadian can drop as well. But it does hinge on these AWPs staying alive. And with how FURIA are playing right now, they want anything but. Now it's just the low HP Cadian trying to get away with his. But that FURIA hunting party, it's out in full force.
Yeah, they even get a free AWP as well, taken out of Stown. Cadian's going to hear him dropping, but they don't need to fully commit here. That's a really good round for FURIA, man. Look at their investment. An AK and a few pistols. There were some Glock players there with the utility, and still FURIA find everyone. Yuri just walks through the ramp smoke and catches Tesses, causing chaos on that A site while FURIA take down middle. And that's a pause for Heroic. A quick breather, a break, a chance to choose how to disperse this cash. As you said, planning to buy if everything went well. And, well, without that, is it still just the temptation to fully commit after losing your first round since the pistol and conversions? Very tempting indeed. We have players on 1400, so I wouldn't be surprised to just see Heroic dig deep and throw everything they've got into this round. It's more about what do you do with it? Where do you go? And where is Cadian's spawn? Not good at all for an A peak.
It's already got all the great makings of another close map. Forces back in. Double AWP out as well. Stown buying that with utility. Doesn't have armor. Tesses knows he's got to get a lot done, right? Knows a big play has got to get made in a round like this if you want to find success. So he throws himself down through ramp. Art is on his mid lurk again. Tesses flash through this smoke. They're going to take ramp room away from FURIA. Get out of here, says Tesses, as he sends them packing with that smoke and flash combo. Now, mid has been given over. There's no info here for Heroic. They don't know what's going on in middle. It's just a big grey area on the map. So they dispatch one of their finest. They've got Stow moving in with this AWP. Borup as well to help him out. There's that CT peak, and that lack of armor comes back to betray Stow as he's caught on the angle. Man advantage up for Furia, and this is a big round to win. This is going to break that Heroic economy. They want to try and get this AWP out of CT. That's why they've sent Nico round to try and get it. Borup walking through the bullets, unperturbed, in position now to wreak some havoc, but he's only good for one. This B play feeling imminent, but Nico and Cadian are both here waiting back to back, looking for Vinny, trying to peek above this smoke, but they can't quite see him yet. Now they hear the footsteps. Nico is aware that they're in this position. Smoke fades to the advantage of Vinny, and now we look at Cadian again with a quick flick, but that's all it is as Vinny swings wide for the trade. It's left onto Tesses just to try and get away with the M4, which is pretty grim compensation in this round. There's an eco to follow, almost indefinitely for Heroic.
Yeah, nice flick for Cadian, but he kills the far player, not the close one. Vinny had dropped off, so he's able to swing and trade. Maybe there's a world where Cadian can get a double, but still a lost round nonetheless. Tesses holding on. And Furia building up to 5 here. As I said earlier, this is a map they haven't played in a while. Last time they did was NA competition, as is often the case for Furia. Played MIBR here over in Europe in Blast. Prior to that, it was domestic results. But it's been some time, and in that time, Furia have clearly been doing a lot of work over in Europe. As we've seen from other teams such as Liquid as well, Heroic. They want to end this year with a bang. And, well, that Mappa nuke certainly fits that. But was it all for nothing? Was it all in vain? Or can they show up on the final map and kick Furia out of this tournament in last place? Complexity already gone as well from Group A. Waiting, by the way, after this matchup is Liquid versus Na'Vi. Winner of this going to face the loser of that. So there's a lot of storylines to keep our eyes and ears attuned to. But who will be meeting who is the question. Nice flash. Vinny pushed back, and Bob is chasing his Tessis' trade that he needs, and he gets it. The one gun getting something done, but Art keeps up the pressure, and Tessis backs out. Happy with a 1-for-1, but you can't win a round off of that alone. He needs more, and he gets it. Art gone as well. If only his teammates were here to get aggro and grab those guns, they could try and go from an alternative route, but that does in fact give away the A site. Furia soon will realize, soon will plant, and soon should find a 6th.
I don't know though, man. Tesses is already here, and with what he's done so far, I wouldn't put anything past him. It's the 3rd in the round. Now that nade brings him down low. He's been so key to all the duels, all the success here. And now the guns have been retrieved. They're coming in late. The cavalry arriving at ramp, but it's getting cut down by Keserato. There's another, and he's almost getting this done. He's almost getting it past the keeper. Tesses is wiped out. And so Furia, they do long that one out in spite of those attempted heroics from Tesses, right? So well played of him to get away with 3. I think that's way more than you could have asked of that one rifle.
And it's that team play again, a heroic, right? Like players just sacrificing themselves so he can trade them, right? Running down the B stairs, knowing you're dead, but setting your rifler up for kills. And yeah, that was a great read for Furia, right? Once they lose those B players, they just speed up A. They know it's a weak defense. Even though it's essentially 2-on-4, they're just ready for the flank. They know Heroic are going to go and grab those guns, and their closest point of rotation is to come in on the back line. 6-3. Furia now up against guns once again. Cadian eats a nade on A. Tesses pushed down the ramp. He got punished by Yuri last time. Art is speeding up short. It's a bit of a play for him, bit of a standard one, but Nico sees him through the smoke and spams it back. Tesses gets his vengeance onto Yuri, and this A control is a lot better for Heroic.
Yeah, I love it, right? Like, you know Furia love this fast ramp progression, especially a guy like Art up through short. As they collapse 3 into ramp, they best Furia at their own game, and Stown's in with a kill over here in mid to make matters worse for Furia. The immediate response, it was needed for Heroic, and a clean round was preferred at that, right? You don't want to be in that same situation that we saw early on in Nuke, where this CT economy can be so punishing, so harsh. And so if they manage to keep, you know, like even 4 alive here is pretty stellar for Heroic. In smoke in, Addy and Vinny attempting to cross behind it, looking like maybe they want to lean into this B bomb site. Borup A man who's not combat tested yet in this round at the back of the site, but he might not even get a chance as Nico's stealing them away, playing this boost. And now, as Henny tries to peek this, he's surely dead to this crossfire set up beneath construction. Gets away with that one, but no idea where these players are, and he gets pushed from B. There were 3 stacks strong there for Heroic. They had the read, they were 1 step ahead once they repel FURIA from ramp. And so they find 4, and it is clean at that, right? Only losing Tesses. A little bit of money made. This is the first step in the right direction.
Yeah, that was a huge round, as you said, just due to the economical consequences, not only that would lead FURIA to streak together rounds, but Heroic actually having the util and the kits to play it. Didn't have any of that in the previous. Now they can long this one out. Deep smokes on A and B, respectively. FURIA stalled out off of this A ramp control. K-Serato alone on the ladder. Nico is in a great position, very wide in middle with support as well, so K-Serato, how late will this lurk be as FURIA try and take A? They're hoping he can come on the elevator backstab. The question is, do Cadian or Nico rotate out, or do they aggress for what could and should be a flank? K-Serato lining up a short Molotov, caught by Nico. He hears the click, and he goes in with a kill. That's the flank dead, and that's the aim of the game given up. Everyone knows it's A now. Look at those rotates on the minimap. Heroic throwing 4 players on this bomb site. Big entry from Vinny. He might commit, but he runs back through the fire and takes a lot of damage. The molly should push down off. He doesn't have that AWP on the boost spot. It's going to have to be a retake, but that's when these kits, these nades, they come in handy.
Oh, but one of the nades misses, and that there has spared Henny's life, right? So many nades pour into that site, but only one of them doing damage. That could have been the 4-on-3 for Heroic. Now they've got to do it old school. Now they've got to do it with the guns, and so there's Nico.
Fury.
Foaming to get stuck into this. Vinny's forced out, but somehow lives the journey. Abruptly put to an end by Borup. Yuri's been waiting. Yuri's been biding his time, and there's the lineup. It all falls onto Art, but he's hidden in this smoke.
They're not on it.
It's right next to them, where the danger lurks. He can stop this round, and there it is. Back in he goes, wow. And he's got them off the bomb. That alone has locked this in for FURIA. Nico just sticks with it. He's like, at this point, may as well commit, but it's 7 on the board for the Brazilians. Making a play that only he could.
Yeah, those are some dangerous post plants for FURIA, but boy, do they work out. Yuri behind the pillar. Vinny gets mollied at sandbags, but it's actually the smoke on the bomb that loses Heroic the round in more ways than one. It lets Vinny get out. They can't punish him swinging off sandbags. He stays alive for a few more seconds, and in a round like that comes down to the wire, a couple seconds is everything. Art perfectly stalls out his play in the smoke, killing the diffuser with a couple of seconds on the clock. 7-4, FURIA building into this T side. Now they're pushing smokes. Now they're feeling it. But there's 3 here for Heroic fighting back. How is no one dead?
It's
I
chaos.
don't know.
It's unreal. What's happening? There's flashes, there's nades, you name it. We got it in high supply. And while this is going on, of course, there's always one player trying to get away with something a little bit cheeky. And in this round, it's Henny, but Nico, he saw something there. He didn't like what he saw. They double push into the short side, and Nico, while he is good for one, it's traded out right away. Now the pace picked up, but Cadian here, the pace man. Oh, no, it's Yuri taking his head off. And suddenly the A site now, ripe for the taking. If you're FURIA, this bomb still a long ways away, but it doesn't matter. Heroic are already kind of bowing out of this round. Maybe if they could have got something on the lurk on one of these players coming from elsewhere. But FURIA are in A, it belongs to them, and Heroic know they can't change that.
Talking of lurk, Art bypassed his teammate taking the bomb to A. He was already flanking before the bomb was even in the site, let alone the round 1. He knows they're saving, but he's missed the timing. They've gone through mid to spawn. Art's come up from spawn to B. He'll realize eventually, and the positions that Heroic can actually still be in, assuming they're not going for it, are pretty limited. They hear all this short noise as well up on that A bomb site. Art with the right pathing right now. No grenade, no molly to flush them out. He's going to have to fight for their lives. Nice shot. One more where that came from. Art's going to clear it. The wall bang into short, and Art does it. Those orb shots don't connect, but they at least draw enough attention. Art killing everyone. No save today for Heroic. And that's important as well, because think of that one round, albeit a lost round for Heroic, but where Tessis gets away with a solo M4, how they play round him on B, how they set him up for kills, and he gets away and gives everyone guns in a retake they almost win. That would have been 2 M4s saved for Heroic. Instead, it's a flat, full eco with a single flash.
Gotta say, man, it is so impressive that FURIA, right, after a grueling second map, and like even if you think about the first, it was 29 rounds long, right? Then we end up with a triple overtime affair on Nuke, and it's like, you know, this has been 3 maps, and we're only 2 maps deep, essentially, is how it's feeling now that we're on the third. FURIA, after that grueling match, you know, you thought it might have took them a minute to build back into this, but they're looking...
Art's already hunting. Like, no one's died, and Art's hunting for exits.
Are they exits if the bomb isn't down?
Pretty much.
Look at this, man. They're just slaughtering them. They're slaughtering them. You know, we called Cadian the Firewalker. Well, right now, FURIA, they're the Skywalker. They're slaughtering these younglings. Tess says. He's let one go by. Oh, oh, that's a freebie. He's going for the knife. He's going for the knife. Little karambit out. Little karambit action.
Only 1 click away from death.
But Art ain't moving, and that's the sad part, man. Art wouldn't give it to him. Now Tessa's trying to get out the round with an AK. And he certainly could get away with it as well. He is still getting hounded down. They really don't want to let you have any small victories. Ooh. But it's a pretty big win here for Tessa. Staying alive. Oh, never mind. Cancelled out by Henny. FURIA, 9 rounds to their name. And Heroic in with another investment, but they are in this same spot. They've constantly been here on these CT sides in regulation where, you know, they're losing rounds, they're having an eco, then they finally get a buy. Oh, money broken again. It's a really, really rough spot to be in. And here in round 14, you want this to be a success. If you want to have a close half, like if you want that 6-9, it's only achievable on the back of a victory here. Because if you lose this, you know, the odds are it's an 11-4 half in favor of FURIA.
Ooh, that nade bounces back on the pole that can so often soak up bullets as well. You see Dinks come through that and do nothing. Hits the nade, down 40 health. Stown spots him jump out middle, can't fight it. Molly and nade, and then back out. Cadian, oh, there's a bit of an arm showing. Art should know. Nico covering though, and that could have been a 2-for-1 for Art. Instead, it's the early A progress lost, and with Tessis still on short, they don't even know about that. Flashed into peaks on the ramp. Tessis smokes short. He can move out behind the pillar as well if he wants and try and get a little more info on this A play. Will he get spotted? No one sees him. The flash is good, but Yuri gets the kill. It's only a dink for Tessis, and it's the crunch on ramp that costs Heroic. Missed shot for Cadian, a rare sight indeed, but he follows up the second time around. Molly on the site. They're coming from both sides. He's getting spammed. Oh dear, this is a mess. And FURIA somehow still in this one, committing into the smoke play from Stown, who can see above the boxes. Keserato gone. Henny here, Yuri low. Henny needs to make a play.
Yeah, that bomb's going back towards B, but they've been loud with it, and it might be a fake. It certainly looks like it. Yeah, Yuri's doubling back. Cadian is here, though. Cadian has refused to give up even an inch of ground in this A-hold, right? He was anchoring over towards short. He wouldn't let them take it. And so now he needs to keep that same mentality ticking in what is essentially a 1v2. Snuffing the first man from the tally. It all falls onto Henny, trying to bait Peaks, and there's the first. Once again, looking for kills is Henny, and this was 1v3, but now it's only Borup who can stop the reign of terror from Henny. This round matters so much to Heroic, it matters so much to the money, and Henny takes it away from them. Takes it all, in fact, as it's 10 on the board for FURIA. Nothing for Heroic heading into round 15.
We saw those same kind of nerves on Nuke. Think back to that round. I think it was coming right into the end of regulation where it was a player running up hell L into A to plant in a 1-on-2. Heroic dropped Vent. They thought it was a B play. That's the same. That bait from Yuri running back with the bomb fully forces the rotate out of the A site. They go from 3 defenders to 1, and even though Cadian picks up Yuri on his return, it's Henny with a clutch. That is a sitter of a round to lose for Heroic. They are going to be molding after that one. And FURIA, that famed 11-4 that you mentioned, that possibility of running away with this map, presented once again without an answer, without a comment from Heroic. Borat caught with a flashbang and are running wild up towards the top of B, covered by Vinny. He should have been dead there, tucked in the corner. Tess is on Gens, flashed as well. The util is so good for FURIA. They are setting their team up for so many entries, and Tessis is not getting out of this one alive, surely. He's running in, Vinny with another, and this half looks clean as can be for FURIA. An 11-4, unless Down does something unthinkable.
Yeah, this should be impossible, right? This should be the 11-4. This should be the golden run at this first half that FURIA so desperately needed after that nuke game, right? Where it's their game to lose, and Heroic make that comeback happen. Well, here, they're sending a message. It's required so much from FURIA to put up these 11 rounds, but they've looked so good. As you say, the utility's been perfect, the pushes have been clean, and there's just no chance. FURIA, they needed resilience. Well, they hit us with Brazilians, 11-4 at the end of that first half. Heroic, they've done the impossible once today, but now we're asking them to do it all over again.
I think it's getting old. I ain't your therapist, I ain't your magic 8-ball. Can't really tell you anything you don't already know. No one said it was easy. Don't even bother, cause I'm in this secure location. I turned off my phone and my patience. I wanna help you, but you ain't even trying. You made your own bed, now you gotta fucking lie. Ain't nobody, nobody makes it. Nobody, nobody makes it. Ain't none of my business. It ain't none of my business. Nobody, nobody makes it. Nobody, nobody makes it. Ain't none of my business. It ain't none of your business.
FURIA feasting on the Danish delight that is Heroic. It may have been quite a meal, maybe too much to swallow back on Nuke. Heroic pulling one hell of a comeback. But was that all the steam in the Dane train gone? Or do they have any left in the tank? We're going to have to find out. It's the second half of Vertigo. It's a map that FURIA haven't played in over 40 days. But not out of practice yet. Showing up with a big T-side, a commanding lead. Heroic. We always say pistol's important, but this time it matters more than ever. It's their tournament life on the line, and they set towards B with one hell of a set piece.
Yeah, look at all this utility, right? You've got smokes for gens, you've got mollies for default, mollies for days, in fact. On this Heroic side, they boost up players. Vinny hasn't seen it yet, doesn't know that on the other side of that plywood lurks the real danger in this round. Now the nades going in, the mollies to accompany it, flashes leave everybody blind, but there's a lot of bodies here for FURIA as well. This is an even-odds fight, and those are not the fights that you want. Queserato absolutely lights them up. FURIA lock in the pistol, and now we enter murky waters for Heroic. No bomb plant presented. They barely even make a dent into B, despite all that utility, all those bodies thrown into the problem. But they get ground up.
Dude, FURIA's pistols are unbelievable. They are so good at reading what their opponent are doing. They did it back on Nuke Day. They stacked a ramp on a fast ramp rush for Heroic. They do it there. They have 3 in the B bomb site without any inclination as to where Heroic are going, with no A info. Could have been walking players up, but instead Heroic walk into the stack, forcing in the second. And we are maybe minutes away from their end to the IEM Global Challenge, the second team to leave alongside Complexity. Will FURIA make it that easy? Or will they make a bit of a mess of this map, as so happened in the second half of Nuke? That would be one hell of a comeback if Heroic could do it. Setting up towards B again, looking for a better chance. Fast as well. Molly is deep. They are through it. Vinny with a spray. He's blind, but he does get one. Queserato anchoring with a couple, and it's good trade work from FURIA. 3-on-2, mid locked in, Stown hunted down, and the plant denied by the bomb right after the fact. It will be a bit of money, bonus cash for Heroic, but they can't force back in. They only got 2 kills.
See, that's the thing as well. This B site is scary, right? You look over at B for FURIA. Well, who do you have there? Queserato and Vinny, these 2 incredible anchor players, but also 2 players that between the 2 of them have great synergy, right? On so many sites, these are the 2 guys that you've got together playing back-to-back. They've done this a million times before. And there, right, with the crossfires set up, with Queserato popping off a little bit, it all becomes a little too clear. That round for Heroic really does fall short. They at least get the bomb plant, right? It allows for the buy here. But this could be the beginning of the end for Heroic unless they turn it around in some unexplainable fashion. That kill is going to go a long way in at least setting Heroic up in this round.
You can't stop believing if you're Heroic. You've done the impossible, as you said before. You can do it again, no matter the odds, no matter how one-sided it is. But this buy is such a risk that digs them deep if they don't pick it up. And Stown catching Henny as the Molotov forces him out wide. Nico's early B pick was good as well. There's still a B player there to keep that pressure up. And right back Heroic go. They can see the ramp. Vinny has figured that one out. He has pieced this together as he pushes up on the A side. Early rotates can come through. And if they want, they're a man down. They could just full gamble B with 2 players there. This flank for Vinny is going to be so much quicker than Heroic are ready for. Queserato needs a couple, and he does exactly what's asked of him.
Yeah, now Yuri's here as well, right? Thanks to Vinny's early info, Yuri is already in this site. The wolf in sheep's clothing pounces from behind the boxes, and that leaves Tesses now 1v2, but Vinny's wrapping in through the ramp. Tesses ain't ready for it. Tesses ain't looking the right way. FURIA onto 14, and Heroic. You know, we were building into this thinking, man, how did FURIA come back for that? Well, they're looking as ferocious as ever. Heroic, is their energy spent? Did they give it all? Did they put their hearts on the field back on Nuke? And now they've got nothing left to spare. They dodged elimination once, and maybe dodging it twice. Well, that's just one bridge too far for Cadian and his boys.
Heroic are mad, FURIA are mad it even got to this point. This should have been done with not even double digits in the second map for Heroic, but right now FURIA looking to do the same in an even more brutal way on this finale, on this last map of the series. 14-4, another desperate buy. Borup on a Deagle, on a Mac, no armor. As he picks up the gun off the body of Tesses. Cadian boosted. Desperate times, Vinny getting caught, but the spray, oh, it's almost nailing him. 9 health, Cadian lives to tell the tale. Borup with a big D, there's another player pushed up on A. FURIA are done, they've had enough, they're just pushing everything. They're taking names, they're taking positions, and they've kept this in a 3-on-3. The constant rebuys from Heroic, it's all they can muster, but can they do anything with it? We're yet to see much on this T side.
And that's the thing, over in NA, we're so used to seeing FURIA like dominate on this map. Think about that 100 Thieves FURIA grand final where they pull the boost out, right, and it's all just wild. Well, you know, now, you touched upon how, what, it's been 44 days of them not playing this map or something along those lines. And they look right as home, you know, they look like they've never even left.
Yeah, Harry, that 100 Thieves game, that Vertigo game, that was a 16-4. That's what FURIA, they're gunning for. It's not quite a grand final, it's an elimination matchup, but that makes them even hungrier than ever as they know they don't want to depart Europe empty-handed. Another pick for Cadian, opener on A, but Henny with the spray through the smoke. Nico's going to try and get this bomb plant in. Heroic, no, nothing is safe, nothing is sacred. These CTs could rush him down at a moment's notice, and that's what they've done, killing the cover. Nico headshot through the box, and it's Queserato to clean it up in the 2-on-2. FURIA, 15. Surely no way they can bottle this lead.
Yeah, this is no 15-9, right? This is no, you know, Heroic knocking on the door, ready to force their way in. No, this is FURIA up and out of there, ready to walk away with the victory. They're not happy with how Nuke ended, and so they are making a statement here on Vertigo. It never should have gone that way. They were out for revenge versus Cadian. They couldn't believe he got away with the 1v2. And so here they're showing that the strength of FURIA lies in this team, lies in the 5v5, lies in this aggression that has constantly been blindsiding Heroic. They are not ready for it at all. There's not that same familiarity as when you're 50 rounds deep in a Nuke game. You've barely even began your T side, and it might all be over for Heroic. Out through mid, oh, you're gonna go for the knife, maybe. Kind of teetering, like, does he want to go for it, doesn't he? He's waiting to see maybe if any more cross, and nothing's given over. Now he's let Stown out through mid. He knows it's clear. Stown might end up taking one to the back here. It's all looking a little too clean over in middle. Oh, walk the whole way just for this. Stown with the turnaround, but Art's still going to get it. And at this point, Heroic, no, they're embarrassed. FURIA are trying to make a mockery of them. Nico and Borup out for revenge. The only hope now is just this one man. It's only Borup. He's silenced. Queserato sends him home. And the tournament run draws to an end for Heroic. But for FURIA, they keep on fighting. They